Hello, I'm Adam Paul Morgan. Thank you for clicking on to what is my small review of the Doctor Strange film, which came out yesterday in the UK, which I was lucky enough to see screened, the first showing at my local cinema, as it were. Now, if you've not been to one of these Marvel Cinematic Universe online, whatever the Marvel Cinematic Universe films on the first showing at the cinema, go and see anything, whichever one comes out on the first screening, because it is an experience, I can tell you. Ready for the next, another story for another time, shall we say. But of course, this particular film, Doctor Strange, starring Benedict Cumberbatch of Sherlock fame and Shakespearean plays, as it were, stars as Doctor Strange. Now, obviously, back in the day, we had the X-Men cartoons, we had Iron Man cartoons, I remember that, we had the Hulk, and we had all sorts of cartoons being brought on in the comics and all that to read, and the kids' lunchboxes and the action figures. I don't remember anything of Doctor Strange at all. He may have turned up in one of the cartoons, but I just can't remember from so many years ago. So it was nice to go into one of these films and not know anything about the character or anything like that. Of course, you got the advertisements going around left, right and centre, like the one joke about the Wi-Fi passwords because they're not savages. You know, how many times has that joke been played? But people still laughed at the cinema. I don't know why they laughed, but I'd heard that joke about 12 times before. But of course, yes, it was nice to go back into this Marvel universe, movie universe, without knowing anything about this one particular character. So that was nice. Now, with Benedict Cumberbatch playing the main character, he's a surgeon at the start. I've got the sort of Gregory House feeling, the sort of British actor who plays an American doctor or surgeon in this case. I was getting that sort of Gregory House MD vibe from Hugh Laurie playing House. That's the sort of felt, but the character does develop in this magical world of what is the Marvel Universe. So I think Benedict Cumberbatch was the right choice for the character, and of course he's got some supporting cast as well. I've just had to get rid of Tindler, I think that's how you pronounce the name, Tindler Swinton, who, if you've ever seen her in We Need to Talk About Kevin, watch that film. She's superb. I can't actually think of a bad performance she's ever done. I've seen her in bad films, but I've never seen her do a bad performance. She's a wonderful actress who really does need to get a lot more credit for the work than what she always does. Now, of course, it's Marvel, and there's a lot of humour that's not been seen in the advertisements or anything like that. With another Benedict Wong, who I thought he was brilliant, working with the other Benedict in this film for the comic timing with the special effects and things like that. Now, the villain. This is one of the villains in the film, Mads Mikkelsen. He's the bad guy in Casino Royale. And I think he's in the new Star Wars film as well. He is very good. He plays Hannibal in the TV series, but I didn't think the script or the story pushed this actor to the sort of dark villainous that this guy is well known for. He's brilliant. He's very dark, and he's got that sort of look as well. He's a fantastic actor, and I think they could have done more with this guy. Of course, this was an origin story of getting Doctor Strange's level up, but you need a good villain. Now, that's the one thing that the Marvel films lack, and let's all be honest, we all know they lack good villains. All the good villains are in the Spider-Man films, I think, and of course we all know that story. Again, that's for another video, if I can be bothered. We all know the story. But yeah, the film in whole, the visual action effects is like Counting Tiger, Hidden Dragon meets Inception. Both very good action films in their own right, but put them together and you do sort of get this film. It was really good. Now, anyone who's close or who watches my videos knows that I'm not too keen on the 3D big showings of these films. As you can see, I saw it in 2D. But I would probably say go and check this out in 3D, because it's very stunning visually, and I didn't feel like it was confusing at all at any point during the entire film. It was all cleverly done, so you could keep up with what was going on and who was where and whatnot, and it was visually stunning but not confusing at all. So it was all very good, and it was all titillating experience as well. But word of warning, don't go and see this if you've been in a pub and having a few beers or whatnot, or if you're on something else as well. Be very cautious going into this film. Have a clear head. That's what you need. You need a clear mind in order to see this film as well. Don't go in there absolutely paralytic, drunk. But yes, overall, I very much enjoyed it. However, it's the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe about this which is just a bit, here we go again. Someone in my previous video had commented about this whole superhero thing and saying it's starting to get a bit repetitive now, particularly when a new character is being brought in. But this character is quite refreshing from, say, Iron Man 4, blah, blah, blah. The list goes on. It was quite refreshing to see. It's the same thing, but done slightly differently, I found, compared to some of the others, which was nice and refreshing to see, rather than the same old, I saved the day, da, 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 da. So it's very different, and of course they've introduced this character because whatever the phase is going on, I'm not up to date, I've got to be honest on this Marvel Cinematic Universe thing, but whatever the phase they're going into, it's going to involve darker and multiverses. I don't know what the terminology is, I'll probably get a few coming at the bottom of this. But overall, yeah, I wasn't expecting to enjoy this, but I thought it was actually quite good for what it was. It's a bit of a late summer blockbuster, it's probably the last of the summer blockbuster, even though it is autumn now. But overall, I generally thought this was a good film. Now, if you're mad on the Marvel Universe, go in with an open head. You'll enjoy it. If you're not in the Marvel Universe, just wait for all the Marvel boys and girls, I should say, Marvel boys and girls to go in and watch this film first. Hang on a little bit before you go and see this film, because it's an experience again, which I will tell in another video. But overall, I generally enjoyed this film, and very good performance all around, very well directed, and very good action sequences as well. Very refreshing. I haven't seen action scenes like that in a good long time. So, have you seen it? What do you think? I'm Adam Paul Morgan. Ferrari bit. That's better than the other one.